Music's done. That must be my cue. Good afternoon. Almost evening. Almost evening. I think I'm going to take that banner down. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just going to leave it there. We're talking on step 6 today in the 12 by 12. I'm working on this with a sponsee today and kind of stuck with me. Um, right now it's hard for me to, hop on meetings, and I'm going to try and hit one today though. Um, that makes it sound like I haven't been hitting meetings. I've been hitting meetings. So if somebody else shows up here, this will be a meeting. Did you know that? It's kind of cool, huh? Not really official. Not really official though. Doesn't quite feel like a meeting, doesn't it? I say where any two are gathered with God, you have a meeting. When you meet with your sponsees, you're having a meeting. When you meet with your sponsor, you're having an AA meeting. Yeah. Notice you meet with your sponsor usually for like an hour. Is that how other people do it? That's how I do it. An hour. I never thought of going longer. So, um, I'm feeling good enough that I can do this. My brain is, it's done. Thankfully, none of this requires my brain. I just know it. So, um, that's where diligence comes in, man. Not stopping. You know, I've been doing this for a very, 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 very long time. Longer than most people that listen to me have been alive. And I ain't got it. My sponsor called me the other day and reamed my ass. I ain't got it. I needed it. I was so thankful for that. Okay. Maybe we ought to talk tough love soon too and describe what tough love is not. I don't believe in tough love. Tough love was used on me, and all it did was create trauma. That's all it did. I will not use tough love on my kids. I don't even know how. I don't. My empathy will, it just won't allow it with anybody. I cannot come down on somebody like that. You know, even when my sponsor was talking to me the other day, it was out of love, man. It's because he didn't want to see me hurting no more. He gives a fuck what happens to me. I'm gonna tell you something that means something to me. Okay. Yeah, I tried to put something together for the club and stuff, and I met with this person, and I could feel his apprehension, but I wanted it so bad I ignored it. And he came back to me a couple days later and he said, Dion, my gut tells me not to do it. Okay. I was a little disappointed in the fact that we weren't going to do it, but the fact that he was honest with me made all the difference in the world. It made all the difference in the world. Okay. Now, he wasn't rude. Okay. He doesn't know me from Adam. He can't trust me yet. Hi, Ingrid. He can't trust me yet. Okay. But he's doing good things. So I'm going to support it. And I wrote him back. I said, hey, I get it, man. You do what you need to do. Okay. He gets it better than I do. So why should I put my sticky little fucking fingers in there? Okay. The only reason from this point that I would want that is so that other people would go, great job, Dion. That'd be the only reason. So I got to stay out of it. Step 6. Step 6. Let's actually do the. Did I do the introductions? If I didn't hear you, welcome Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. Please say hello. Wow, I just got really hungry. Zofran worked. Whew. All right. Careful. Diligence is a noun. Careful and persistent work or effort. And that's what step 6 is going to require. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the perfect release from alcohol in here. Okay. Defects are not alcohol. Alcohol is different than a character alcohol is not a character defect. It is an entity. It's a person, place, or thing, which is also a noun, by the way. Okay, I think. Don't quote me on shit today. Don't, okay, if you get anything out of this, don't quote me today. All right. I'm just doing the best that I can with what I have to work with today, just like everybody else. So, tomorrow will be better. Feeling a little bit better. Everybody, I can't believe the support I got because I was just honest. It's amazing what honesty does. All right. Step 6, we're entirely means all I'm ready. Take it all. When it came to this, there wasn't anything left. There wasn't anything left useful in me. It needed to be taken away so that I could make room for what was coming. I got to make room. There's only so much. There's only so much. Okay. This is a step that separates the men from the boys or the girls from the women. So declares a well loved clergyman who happens to be one of AA's greatest friends. Okay. He goes on to explain that any person, listen to this, any person capable of enough willingness and honesty to try repeatedly step 6 and all of his faults without any reservation, whatever, has indeed come a long way spiritually. Okay. This also qualifies you. Okay. This is neat stuff. And we skip a lot of things in here. That's why I kind of wanted to go through it. Right? Here's the key thing. Willingness is the principle behind step 6. Not 3, 6. Okay? 3 is spirituality. Okay, so we got to put these in the. So what have you been doing the last 5 steps? I call step 6 the Karate Kid stage. Yeah. This is usually when the sponsee's like, shit ain't working. And you're like, oh yeah, wax on now. What you do is you bring up their experiences. Hey, the other day you had a bad day and you called me instead of drinking. That's progress. Oh, it is. That's progress, man. Always look for progress. Always. That's honest. And be honest about it too. Okay. Never, ever, 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 ever give a fake compliment. That person will know. In fact, whenever I say this, one instance comes into mind. I told this one lady that I went to an AA meeting because she was there, because I wanted her to feel better. She knew it was bullshit. All right. Now here it comes. And therefore is entitled. I know, entitlement. Shit. What? It's a bad word. No. No, it is not a bad word, alcoholic. Like consequences. There are good consequences. There's good entitlement. It is how you use it. This is leadership, and leadership is done by example, not demand. Can you help me? Okay. Leaders help carry the load. Bosses tell you where to put the load down. Okay. If you're a leader, you're carrying the load. You got to show how you can. Otherwise, they're going to drop it. They're going to do this. They're going to try and drag it. They're going to, and we know how to carry the rock. So you need to show them how. We don't. We drop it. We let God do it. What? Yeah. So now you're therefore entitled to be called a person who is sincerely trying to grow in the image and likeness of his own creator. What is that? It's perfection. Fuck. But we're not perfect. Well, that's because you're reading it wrong. Your brain, let me rephrase that. My alcoholic brain is only reading what it wants to see. Therefore, we need a guide. There's a part coming up that talks about rendering us as white as snow And a lot of people misunderstand. They're, oh, well, I'll never be perfect. What? Yeah, you will. You will. One day you'll be perfect. Call it death. Until then, I'm going to do everything I can to be in their likeness. I'm going to try and achieve perfection knowing I'm going to fail. Knowing I'm going to fail. That's okay. I have step 10, which allows me the right to be wrong and mistake any new things that come up. Oh, that's as close as I'm going to get. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try. It's the willingness. Am I willing? This morning, when I got up, I told God, I'm willing to do what he needs me to do. I just need a little bit of help. And you know what the fuck he did? He helped me. He cleared it so that I could talk to my sponsee. There was another person that needed to talk to somebody like me. They needed me. I need them. Of course, the often disputed question of whether God can and will, under certain conditions, remove defects of character will be answered with a prompt affirmative by almost any AA member. To him, this proposition will be no theory at all. It will be just about the largest fact in his life. He will usually offer proof in a statement like this. Sure, I was beaten, absolutely licked. My own willpower just wouldn't work on alcohol, change the scene. The best efforts of family, friends, doctors, and clergymen got no place with my alcoholism. I simply could not stop drinking, and no human being seemed to be able to do the job for me. But is usually a bad word. In this case, it's not. I know I'm on something, but listen to it. Just take words for what they are. Stop trying to determine the meaning to it. Take it for what it is. It's beautiful. Even if it's wrong, right? See, if life is perfect the way it is, I find serenity. Even though it's not. This room is not perfect. My face is not perfect. Nothing in this room is perfect. But it all belongs right where it's supposed to, right down to my bubbles. I better not rile you up too much, or your response is gonna be like, woo. All right. But when I became willing to clean house and then asked a higher power, God, as I understood him, to release my obsession, the drink vanished. It was lifted out of me. In AA meetings all over the world, statements like this are heard daily. It is plain to see that each sober AA member has been granted release from this very obstinate and potentially fatal disease, potentially fatal obsession. Sorry. So, in a very complete and literal way, all AAs have become entirely ready to have God remove the mania for alcohol from their lives, and God has proceeded to do exactly that. This next paragraph's awesome. Having been granted a perfect release from alcoholism, there's your perfection. You wanted it, there it is. You were given a perfect release from alcoholism, from alcohol. Alcohol is not a character defect. It's an entity. I said that earlier. All right? It's just an object. It has water in it. This glass of soda is no different. Why? Because if I don't drink soda, I become a dick. Don't worry, sugar's on my darn list, okay? I gotta get off these meds first, and then smoking, and then sugar. All right. I'm working. I'm working my butt off on it, man. All right. Having been granted that, then why then shouldn't we be able to achieve the same means a perfect release from every other difficulty or defect? Thus, This is the riddle of our existence, a full answer to which may be only in the mind of God. Nevertheless, at least a part of the answer to it is apparent to us. Wow. Are you going to get a perfect release from your character defects? No. Do you know what you, that's not what you want. Trust me. Your brain may want that. Oh, what does that make you? It makes you a saint. Ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. And it's okay. It's all right. Learn delayed gratification, man. Until it's kept me sober for a long time. All right, when men and women pour so much alcohol into themselves, they destroy their lives. That they destroy their lives. They commit the most unnatural act. Thank you, Ingrid. I'm proud of you too. I am. I've been watching you. Ingrid and I are a lot alike. We go through some of the same things. Like if I said brain zap, she knows exactly how it feels. So what we're talking about is the fact over the last year that we've even been able to get out of the fucking house. That's what we're talking about, right? Good job. Okay. She's been getting upset because she hasn't caught my lives, and I see that as progress. See, before you caught all my lives because you were stuck at home. Now you're out and about doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're missing them, and that's a good sign because it makes me miss you because I love you. That's how I see it. All right. So anyway, back to this. So what are they saying? They commit the most unnatural act. Okay. Once you're aware of the fact, and you already know it, okay, you know that you are killing yourself, but you continue to do that. We call that suicide on the installment plan, but it is suicide. That's why it feels so fucked up. They're going to say something here. It's going to hurt. It's going to confuse you. It's all right. I'm going to unconfuse it. Defying their instinctive desires for self preservation, they seem bent upon only self destruction. Do you know what your main goal in life is? To stay alive. That is the number one priority in your brain, to stay alive. When that is gone, the desire to do anything good is gone. It isn't in you, it has been taken over. And I don't know how you want to put it, but it's nothing short of the fucking devil, my friend. I don't have another word. Okay? I'm fine. Beelzebub. I know lots of names for that motherfucker. Should call him that for him. All right. Well, lower power, but you can't have good without evil. You can't have. Okay. You can't feel happy without feeling sad. You won't know what happiness is without sadness. You won't know sadness without being happy. But we don't want to be those. We want to be in the middle. Happiness isn't the goal. I always thought it was. I did. I just want to be happy. I want to just be happy. Everything would be great. No. I had to do something worth being happy about. And that meant changing my entire life. That's what I meant. I'm feeling better. Now everything's coming out. Everything good. They work against their own deepest instinct as they are humbled by the terrific beating administered by alcohol. The grace of God can enter them and expel their obsession. Here, the most powerful instinct to live can cooperate fully with their creator's desire to give them new life. For nature and God alike abhor suicide. That's a strong fucking word. Very strong. And it only means one thing. That word, bad. There is no good abhor. Okay? That is what it is. It hurts. I don't want nature or God to abhor me. But it's not you, it's the disease that they abhor, not you. They want to expel that disease from you. Now, I'm going to give a different situation because I have met people in my life that have committed suicide and it was legit. And I get it. I get it. Okay. I don't know because I don't even know if heaven exists. Okay. But I do know this. This person was sober for over 40 years. I watched this man help entire fucking cities. Okay. He was also in my family. Okay. He did a lot of great things. He got to a point in his life where he had to depend on everybody else for him to survive. He just did not want that. As a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, as a person of God, I get that. And he went up. All right. I'm going to skip some of this. I may not. I'm looking for one. Oh, no, I'm going to continue on. I'm going to do like 3, 4 more paragraphs. Probably do the bottom of page 65. Who knows? Then another person come on and I'll finish it. Who knows? All right. But most of our other difficulties don't fall under such a category at all. Every normal person, for example, to eat, to reproduce, and to be somebody in society of his fellows. And he wishes to be reasonably safe and secure as he tries to attain these things. See all these things that we want? God made him that way. He did not design man to destroy himself by alcohol, but he did give man instincts to help him to stay alive. Okay. Now you tried. Change of scenery. What did we talk about earlier? Change of scenery, all these clean house, friends, doctors, clergymen, all these different things, right? You were trying to stay alive. Your instincts were correct, but you kept failing. So we gave up. And then we drink on the fuckets. Okay? Those are your instincts. Now, and he wishes to be reasonably safe and secure. Good luck. Okay? I mean, I can do everything in my power to make a place safe for you, but if that person doesn't feel safe, there's nothing else I can do. I'm actually going through this with a niece. I can say that because I got a lot of nieces. Right? She's having a hard time. I was like, she's away from her home. I understand why she has anxiety. She's going through things. Last night, I told her, hey, you know what? I go through a lot of things too. And in this house, you can act however you want. As long as you're nice to people. But here, you're not a weirdo. You're just you. And you're welcome. And I hope it helped. I don't know that it did. Okay. But, what am I doing? People that record other people while they're having mental breakdowns, I want to take your camera, I want to shove it down your throat, and I'm willing to go to jail for it. And I'll tell the judge exactly what I did. Yeah, this person was having a mental illness, and instead of doing something about it and helping, they decided to record it. So I took their phone from them, dialed 911, and then I took their phone and I threw it across the street and destroyed it. Yeah. I'll pay for the phone. $10 a month, does that work for you? Because I don't make any money. I work off the will of God. You ain't gonna take nothing from me. I ain't got nothing. See, I'm free. Kind of a weird way to put it, but nobody ever said I did anything unweirdly. It is nowhere evident, at least in this life, that our Creator expects us to fully eliminate our instinctual drives. So far as we know, it is nowhere on the record that God has completely removed from any human being all his natural drives. No, that's who you are, man. Okay. Now, what are some of our other drives? So for me, what are drives? For us, those are our passions. For us, that's passions, okay? Drives is passions in this case. For me, it's helping alcoholics, man. That is my main instinctual drive. It is recovery is my number one instinctual drive because with it, I get everything I ever wanted. Did you hear wanted? Oh, I want a lot. It doesn't take much to satisfy me anymore, which is nice. I made it easier for myself. Okay. Since most of us are born with an abundance of natural desires, isn't it strange that we often let these far exceed their intended purpose? All right, let's talk about newcomers coming into the meeting. We get rid of alcohol. I'm going to tell you, you're going to go one of a couple of ways. Okay. Um, Sex, it'll kind of become a number one priority. If you're single, it's going to fuck you up. I'm not going to tell you how to work it. You take care of it. I mean, I don't cover sex. Okay. I'm uncomfortable with it. I like talk about it. It makes me uncomfortable. All right. Or they go after money. One of the two, because they think that one of these two things, and I get it, I understand. They think that one of these two things is going to fill that hole in their stomach. And I'm going to tell you, the only thing I have ever found that fills that hole was my higher power. It was the only thing that filled it. And not only did he fill it, it's like overflowing. And what that does is it gives me all these extra things to give to you. Because I'm not stewing in my character defects. Unlike 3 days ago, 2 days ago, I don't know when it was. I'd have to actually look to see when my sponsor called me. Been a long time since that happened, and all right. And not only that, but we alcoholics and addicts, we always exceed our intended purpose when we're not focusing on what we need to do, right? So this can get out of control. I don't when I work with a lot of young men. Okay. I work with a lot of young men. And I do this because I know what it means to be a man now. And I know that the information given to them was wrong. And what I want is for this young man to have a good relationship, to be able to treat their partner correctly. Okay. I don't care if that partner is male or female. Okay. Yeah. I've worked with young men that are gay. It's not, they're still men. That doesn't change. It doesn't change. Okay. Just because their favorite color is pink and mine's blue, okay, doesn't change it. Okay. So when I talk to young men, okay, like I have a guy right now. He finished the steps. I told him what happened. I said, because he was trying to date. Okay. And I'll tell you why, because no, I'm not. That's his business. I apologize. You don't need to know. And don't worry about it. There's no drama. You're not missing anything. Okay. But in the beginning, I said, what I want to do is I want to make you a man worth having, man. Isn't that the way? So before you were trying to find somebody so that you could be a certain thing, right? Well, this time what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to be a man and be the man you're supposed to be so that you can attract the person you're supposed to be with. And it happened. It happened. How do I know this? Have you met my wife? If you haven't met my wife, I'm not. She's shy. She thinks she's naive. She's not. She's not naive. Okay. Not living with me for that long. Not anymore. Okay. But we're like the perfect couple. Everything that I don't know, she knows. And we keep each other very balanced. Yeah. I know. It's I will admit it. We're codependent to each other. But I love her that fucking much. So if you have a problem with it, you can go talk to your sponsor because my sponsor says it's okay. And I'll give you an idea. We were in therapy. I When I was going to therapy for PTSD, it was better with my wife there. I felt more comfortable. She's my buddy, and she was willing to do that. We were in the middle of a session, and Shannon says, "I have a quick question." And she asked the therapist, "Do you think that it would do us any good to have couples counseling?" And he laughed. He laughed, and she got kind of mad about that. But what he said was, "No." He's like, "You two do not." He's like, "My wife and I don't get along as well as you two do." So no, you don't need it. And I thought that was so cool for her to hear. So we've done a lot of work. Okay. When they drive us blindly or willfully demand that they supply us with more satisfaction or pleasures than are possible or due us, that's where my brain falls into bullshit. When I feel like I'm due, and this happens to me, I'll tell my wife, I'm like, I'm doing all this. Says, where's my fucking recognition? And I'll say that, and my grandchildren are running around, my daughters are, well, be honest, right in fucking front of you. It's right in front of you. See? See how my brain and this instinctual drive causes me to think the wrong direction. This is why I'm lonely in a crowd of people that love me. I have no idea where all this is coming from. I just feel relieved right now. So that is the point at which we depart from the degree of perfection that God wishes for us on earth. That is the measure of our character defects, or if you wish, our of our sins. There's that perfection word again. Which we depart from the degree of perfection. What does that mean? It means you're gonna fuck up. Fix it. That's all you gotta do. You don't need to shame. You don't need to blame. Why blame me? No. Even what I went through just before with, saying I shouldn't have reached out to this man and stuff. No, I don't. I felt like an asshole about it for about 5 minutes, and then I was done. I'm not going to sit there. No. I did the wrong thing and made it right. That's all I can do. That's forgiveness. That's forgiveness. Like, see, forgiveness is an action to me. This is, I'm going to do this paragraph and then but this is the paragraph I wanted to get to. And it's going to be weird. Okay. If we ask God, if we ask, all you have to do is ask. Okay. Let me point out something really quick. Remember, we just talked about that perfect release from alcohol. What more perfection do you want? You tried everything in the whole fucking world first, which we all do. It's called denial. Find out that we have the answer. Remember that. Remember that. Okay. What did you do to get that? Nothing. You physically did nothing. You asked for help. So here we are. You asked for help. This is what's going to happen. If we ask for help, God will certainly forgive our derelictions. That's the first line. That happened in step 5. Step 5, see, I can't really forgive somebody. That's God's job. To think that I can run around and forgive people. Well, I forgive what you did for me. Do you know what that sounds like? Hate. That sounds like that's no different than karma will take care of you. I mean, you specifically wish bad karma on somebody right there. Okay. So if God is going to forgive your derelictions, so God, please forgive this person for their derelictions. Please remove that so that they can be closer to you. Answers are coming to me. Answers I need right now, by the way. I needed that. It just, now it's clicking. Fucking meds. All right. But in no case does he render us white and as snow. Now, okay, all right, let me finish that whole sentence because this sentence is very important. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Um, but in no case does he render us white as snow and keep us that way without his cooperation. Now, back on page 62, it says, we claim spiritual progress. You finished it in your head. I know exactly what you said. Don't finish it. Don't finish that sentence. We claim spiritual progress. There. Claim it. This is the same thing. Listen to it. I'm going to do this again. But I'm going to cut out but in no case does. I'm going to take that out of the sentence. Watch what happens. He will render us white as snow and keep us that way with our cooperation. That's perfection. Okay? Does not make me a saint. It does not make me, well, you know what? I'm going to say I'm different. I know I am. I'm not just different. I'm like different. And I don't know what it is. I've been talking to people about this that are like me. And please don't take this as an egotistical thing. I'm just trying to fucking figure it out myself. But I'm chosen. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, it scares the fuck out of me sometimes. Other times I have all this fucking courage. You know, um, I don't understand it. I don't need to understand it. Okay? I'm buying a fucking 5-bedroom house in North Cline. I haven't worked in years. My wife's a caretaker. God did this. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open it up to his children. I have this huge back fucking yard. I would rather that I would rather put 3 or 4 fucking homeless people in my backyard, honestly. If it kept them off the street and kept them safe and people wouldn't fuck with their shit and they could get better, I'd do it. I might just go ahead and do it. I'm gonna have to talk to my wife. All right, so there it is. Now I'm gonna repeat that one more time. But we need this diligence. But in no case does he render us white as snow and keep us that way without our cooperation. But now that I told you, it did something different in your mind, didn't it? You saw it differently. I know you did because that's what happened to me. See, experience is fact, and that if it happened to me, it's probably going to happen to you. It might happen in a different order, but it's still going to happen. Okay? That is something we are supposed to be willing to work towards ourselves. There's your answer. Willing. Willing. God, I am willing. Okay? God, I'm willing to do this and this. Okay? Okay? Now, there's some things I'm willing to do, but I know they're out of my purview. Like running into a sober living. I don't have enough in me. I wouldn't be able to do it. Okay? Too much. It'd be too much for me. I want to, but my lane. Right? And here we go. We're gonna keep it simple now. He asks only that we try as best we know how to make progress in the building of character. Yeah, that's it. Just be willing to make progress towards perfection. That's step 6. We're entirely ready. We're entirely ready. God, all of it. Not partial. Remember what it says in how it works? Half measures get you nothing. Okay. Step 6 is a black and white situation. You're either going to give it all away or you're not. That's it. Now, I'm going to tell you, there may be some things that crop up later where you didn't see them before, but you do now. So what do? God, I'm willing, I see it, and I'm willing to change it. That's it. You're done. Step 6, done. And you're going to do that for the rest of your life. So if you take step 6 and you take step 10, I know it's weird putting those two things together, right? But they fit. They fit. So, all right. You know, it's weird because I still don't have a counter up there that tells me if anybody's even here. And I find that ironic. Okay. And I know it's not, it's supposed to be up there. Okay. As part of the package or whatever, right? But the fact that God has removed it. I'm going to give you another one. I'm going to give you another one. I was on the phone with my sponsee, right? We're in the middle of step 6. He gets a phone call. His hairstylist is on the way. I'm like, okay, all right, let's try and plow through this. His sound went out. God said, no, you ain't. God said, no, you're not. You're not rushing through this. Soon as I said it, yeah, and nothing had happened. Okay. But all of a sudden, we couldn't talk. And the end of the conversation was, we're going to end right there and we'll meet up next time. Go get your haircut. That's what God wanted. And we listened. And because of that, his day, my day, the hairstylist day, and everyone around us will have a better day because we shut the fuck up and listened. Okay. The other day when my sponsor called me and then I'll end. I promise this time. I forgot what I was saying on that. Okay. See, it's just now that I'm feeling better, my brain's going 100 miles an hour. So I'm going to go relax. I'm going to go relax. All right. Thank you, Ingrid, for being here and hanging out. I appreciate it. And anybody else. There could have been 15 people there. Okay, one more. And coming from my sponsor, I believe this. Okay, because people tell me this. They tell me, Dion, you have a lot of people following you. I don't, where? I don't, and I don't need to see them or anything. It's hard for me, for my brain to have the proof of the pudding, right? But even my sponsor said, Dion, you know, there's a lot of people that go by what you fucking say. Fuck. Okay. That's a responsibility. It doesn't make me popular. It doesn't make me more than. It's just God saying, hey, dude, and I got children that need your help. I love you. I really do. And there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. Even if you don't love yourself. Last couple days you did it for me. I can do it for you. Peace out.